Hi, welcome to another edition of Soho Today. I'm your host, Mary Joan Schulteis, and Soho stands for Small Office, Home Office. And that's who most of you are. You're small business owners and entrepreneurs. And today we've got some great topics to talk about. With us, we have Carolyn Raphael. She's the president of Winger Marketing here in Chicago. Welcome to the show, Carolyn.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for being here, because some of the things we're going to be talking about today, you implement almost on a daily basis for your clients. We're talking about social media marketing, email marketing, and guerrilla marketing. So let's start with the most popular thing going today. I mean, social media has just exploded off the face of the earth. I mean, Facebook, everybody has a Facebook page, right? But should they?
Well, I think that's something that a lot of our clients struggle with, because many of them are either entrepreneurs or small business owners who say, wow, you know, my competitor is on Facebook, or everyone is on Facebook, or I'm on Facebook personally. Should I be posting things about my business? And really the advice that we're going to give to you is, well, why do you want to be on Facebook? Sort of, what's the purpose? What's the strategy? If you have some clear messages you want to put out, if you have a strategy for positioning yourself as an expert in the industry, gaining more fans so you can communicate with people more regularly, those are the kinds of things we want to identify. And the other thing we would say is observe your competitors. Go take a look at their pages. Watch what they're doing. Does it make sense? Is it something you think makes sense for your audience?
And, you know, just to pick up on that, I think that this is something that many people are probably struggling with, is how do you identify people that you want to friend you on Facebook and follow you on Twitter?
I think one of the strategies that we use for some of our clients, if we're going to tap into the media, let's say we have several home builders, so we might say to them, you know, why don't you follow Jan Parr from Chicago Home Plus Garden? She's really active on Facebook. We know she's out there watching. We know that she's said to us, sometimes I get my tips from my stories on Facebook. So thinking about, again, who your different audiences could be. There's also, of course, you could buy advertising on Facebook and do keywords so that you can start to attract people to your site.
And is that kind of a trend? Is that very popular now, buying ads, buying keywords?
We're seeing more and more of our clients do it. In fact, a lot of our larger clients are doing it. I know that some of the women's auxiliaries that we work with at hospitals have actually used Facebook ads to try to drive people to events on cancer wellness or just healthcare topics.
This is great. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. Don't move that mouse. You're watching Soho Today. Welcome back. You're watching Soho Today. I'm Mary Joan, and today I'm here with Carolyn Raphael of Winger Marketing. Carolyn has almost 20 years of experience in this field, and she is the president at Winger Marketing, and their website is wingermarketing.com. And we just got done talking about social media marketing, and we're going to move on to email marketing. And email marketing has a lot of pros and cons.
It does.
What would you say some of the pros are?
I think some of the pros are obviously that it's very inexpensive, fairly easy to use. Most of the tools that are out there either have templates that are very easy to fill out. You don't need a lot of technical experience to make it happen. I think some of the cons are that people are inundated with email, and your open rate, a good open rate is 20 to 30%.
That sounds very good.
Which is still, you think about that in terms of how many people do I really need to blast this to just to reach this 20 to 30% as a good open rate. And I think the other thing is being careful about the spam laws.
Yes.
You really need to know what you're doing, because it's a very slippery slope.
And let's talk briefly about that. You know, you had mentioned at one point, legally you actually are allowed to send to anyone at least once with some...
As long as it's a personalized email.
Personalized, meaning their name is up there and you have an opt-out.
And you have an opt-out. And in doing some further investigating on this, it really shouldn't be part of a major blast email. So let's say you buy a list and you're going to plug in people's names. Well, in order for it to not be considered spam, and I'm not a lawyer, but these are rules everyone should be familiar with. They need to have specialized, individualized offers. You can't send 3,000 people an e-blast from a list that you purchase with their name on it and call that an individualized email.
Right. Okay.
So the rules are pretty serious, and I think the fine is up to like $11,000 per email.
Wow, that's a stiff price to pay.
It's one to be really aware of.
I'm thinking in general, when you talk about lists, we compile our own lists here at Soho Today and at my company, NuZoo Media, through people that I meet at events, people that contact me, just a wide range of people. Right. And I've occasionally looked into buying some lists, and I've always kind of held off on doing that because I felt like growing my own list really is a better practice. What are your thoughts on that?
I completely agree with you. There are a few clients that have said, we don't have any list, where do we start? And so, okay, you buy a list. But the best practice, because you want people on your list who really want to know what you're going to share with them.
Right.
So growing it organically, thinking about when you're out at an event, what can I do to engage people to get them to give me their email? Is it a raffle? Is it a coupon where if I have to turn in my coupon, I have to plug in my email address? So sort of thinking about incentives to get people to do that, because if they're already there at your event, they're probably going to want to know more about events that you're working on or products that you're offering.
Let's talk briefly about the content in an email. I think the thing to remember, and this is true of all of these newer the social media marketing as well, is that at the end of the day, it's not really about you, it's about your potential customers or already current customers. What can you give to them?
Sure.
And that's true of an email. What's in it for them?
So what's the benefit? Why should I open this email? And I think that you need to ask yourself that before you send something out. Because if you're not sending them something of value, and if you're not sending something that's going to enhance their lives, don't send it.
I think let's talk about guerrilla marketing. I like guerrilla marketing. I think it's changed a lot in the last few years. I think for me at one point it actually included social media marketing, and it's also incorporating, an interactive component. You're trying to get people to maybe snap pictures of things, share those photos with people, or text about what's going on in your location.
Getting people to take action. And I think, again, it goes back to that buzzword that we keep talking about. You're not marketing to someone. You're trying to engage them. You're trying to get them to participate in your brand and your product and your event. And so guerrilla marketing, again, it's a really effective way to do that. We had great success with guerrilla marketing, just with having folks out on the street, again on Michigan Avenue, branded T-shirts, handing out information about the Gold Coast Art Festival. But that was only one piece of a banner campaign, ads, a mobile billboard. But getting those kids there out on the street with an incentive for you to get down to the fair. Give us your name, register for 500 free art bucks. Very effective.
You're giving them something, you're actually collecting something from them at the same time.
Exactly.
And potentially they win and they get to know where the event is now being held. But you know what, I really like your example that you did for the Howard Brown Health Center. Let's talk about that. This that was just a big win.
And that was just a really fun campaign because they've got a great mission. They're helping 30,000 folks who would not have access to health care. But obviously part of their mission is also to decrease the number of HIV infections we see in the city. So we knew that Condom Awareness Week was coming up. We were working with a group to promote something called Condom Sense, and it was actually an educational program being rolled out in Chicago public schools. So we knew we had that. We said, okay, well, what can we do to bring this to the community? So we came up with this idea of having 12-foot condoms covering the public art up and down Halsted Street.
Yeah.
They were branded with the logo of Howard Brown. And then, you know, we had people in condom costumes out on the CTA handing out ready for action packs. So you could have gotten on the train that morning and here's your ready for action pack. Or after work, when you're getting off the CTA, you walk into one of the merchants on Halsted Street and they have, you know, a bucket out there for you with information on whatever it might be. But yeah, we had lots of folks popped up on a lot of blogs because, oh my God, there's, you know, a giant condom on Halsted Street. So yeah, it was fun.
And today we've been talking with Carolyn Raphael, Winger Marketing. You can find her site at wingermarketing.com. And in the meantime, email us at info@sohotoday.net. We want to hear from you. What topics are you interested in? What's your area of expertise? You never know. You could find yourself on Soho.